everyone, welcome back to my channel Optimizer. So in this video we are going to see one more rod element example, where we are going to consider a thin walled box as a cross section and we are going to solve this problem. Okay, so here the beam length is around 800 mm. The cross section area is by 100 by 100 and the thickness is 10 mm of this thin walled box, and Young's modulus is given as a 2.1 e raised to 4, and also the Poisson's ratio is 0.35. okay, and analytical solution as calculated, force upon area, force is 10 kilonewton and area of this structure, this cross section is 3600. So with that the stresses formed in that beam is around 2.77. okay, and similarly we have calculated the displacement as FL divided by AE, displacement 0.1 mm we have received. okay, so as we have discussed in earlier video, we can solve any 1D problem with 6 step, that is MHPCLL. okay, so same process we are going to adopt to solve this rod example also. okay, so let us start with it. So coming back to hypermesh. okay, so first step is material. You need to define material, so you can give the name as anything you want. For example, I have given as steel. As steel is isotropic, you need to select isotropic mat 1 for structural element. So if you are new to this channel, please go back and see our previous video also, so that you will get to know the basics of the hypermesh, controls of the hypermesh, and then you can come to this video. okay, so in our problem, Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio are known value, that is 2.1 e raised to 4 and 0.35. so 2.1 e raised to 4, e raised to 4 means 10 raised to 4, okay, and 0.35. okay, so just we have defined the material property. Just click on return and return. okay, now next step is H. H means hyper beam. So material is we have defined. Now hyper beam, just go to 1D hyper beam, and from here you need to select thin walled box. okay, because hollow rectangle section is there, that is thin walled box we are going to define. okay, now just click on create, and from here you need to select dimensions A, dimensions B, that is 100 by 100 and thickness is 10. okay, so this is the cross section area. Just see 100 by 100 and the thickness is 10 mm. okay, so respective calculations automatically will be calculated here, just like the Young's modulus, moment of inertia, areas, whatever you want, all the dimensions will be calculated automatically. Just see area is 3600. so same area we have considered for the analytical calculations. okay, now once you are defined, just click on this model hue. So we have defined the material, we have defined the hyper beam. Now next step is we need to define the property. okay, so for defining the property, again you need to use the collector toolbar. On that, click on this property. Here again we are going to use a rod element, rod 1 we can define. Type you need to select, this is as a 1D element, you need to select type 1D. Card image, here we are going to use a rod element because this is uniaxially compression problem. Why uniaxial compression? The length of the beam is in this direction and also the force is applied in same direction, but compressive forces are generated. That's why you need to select rod element, as you required only 2 degree of freedom in this case, that is uniaxial tension compression problem is there. So you need to select property for rod, that is P rod. okay, and material we have defined as, you have to select steel, again beam section, box section 1. so these two things already we have defined, you need to select only this much. okay, now you can click on this create edit and just see the cross section is assigned or not. Yes, cross section is assigned, that is 3600. now just click on return. okay, so we have defined 3 steps, that is MHP. now next step is component, that is C. So for defining the component, we know the total length of the beam is around 800 mm. So just come to hypermesh, go to nodes. First node I am going to create at origin, so that is 0 0 0, and second node I am going to create 800 mm in X direction, you can again click on create. You can click on this fit in all, or directly you can press yup, so that it will be fit to window. Okay, so two nodes we have created. Now we want to create one element in between these two nodes. Okay, as again the stress value in throughout this beam is same, because cross section area is same and also the force value is same. So this, whatever the stresses you are going to get in this beam are same. That's why you can describe this model with two node and one element. Already we have created two node. Now you need to create only one element in between these two nodes. Okay, so as we are going to create 1D element, just go to 1D page, rods, and from this you need to select property, that is rod, and element type, that is component for rod element, you need to select, that is C rod. Okay, now you can select first node, second node. Okay, so C rod element is created in between these two nodes. Okay, now whatever the yellow nodes are there, that nodes are temporary nodes. These two nodes are temporary nodes. You need to clear that nodes. So just go to geometry, temporary node, and just clear this. Okay, we have created cleared this. Okay, now that is component. Okay, so 4 steps we have completed. Now next one is load collector. So if you just see, there are two kind of boundary conditions again. First one is applying force here, and second one is applying fixed constraint at this end. Okay, so first load collector, where SPC we are going to apply, so single point we are going to constrain. No card image is required in this case. Just click on create, just click on return and go to analysis, constraint. You can select this node and click on create. All 6 degree of freedom we are going to restrict. Okay, so that is 1 2 3 4 5 6, that is translation in XYZ and rotation in XYZ. Okay, and now we want to apply force at this node. So just click on return. Again, one more load collector you need to define, that is, we can say that force. Click on create, return, and now go to analysis, forces, and in which direction we want to apply, in X direction only. So just select X direction. You need to select node, and how much force we need to apply, 10 kilonewton force in negative X direction. So here you need to define minus 10,000. Okay, and now just click on create. So if you want to increase the size of arrow, as we have discussed in last video, just enter 50. So this is only for increasing or decreasing the size of the arrow. Okay, so from here you can assign a different color. So I'm going to assign yellow for SPC and red for force. Okay, so also we have discussed assign a different color to check whether the property is assigned or not, materials are assigned or not. So you can use a different color for cross-checking purpose before the solution. Okay, so component has a blue color, so we have defined a different color for different entities. Okay, now just click on return. Now last step, that is 6th step, is load step. So just go to load step. Here we are going to solve again a rod. So any name you can give. I have declared is as a rod. Now SPC is this. Whatever the load collector you have defined, you need to assign a respective load collector to respective entity. So load means force. So again click on this and select force. Okay, here you need to select the type of analysis you want to do, that is linear static I am going to do. So just select linear static and just click on create. Okay, now before proceeding to solution, we need to verify whether our model is completely defined or not, all the materials are assigned or not. So for that, what we need to do, we need to check whether cross section is assigned or not. Just click on this 1D detailed element representation, correct, and just click on here and just press Ctrl and just rotate it. Just see the cross section, that is hollow cross section, is assigned. You can select, you can check like this also, cross section is assigned. Okay, also you can check whether the property is assigned or not. Just click on this by property. Okay, so just see whatever the property color is there, now it is assigned to the beam. So if you want to check whether material is assigned or not, just click on this by material. So whatever the color of material is there will be assigned to this one. Okay. So now we can say where our model is completely defined, and now we can proceed towards the solution step. So whatever we have done up till now, that is pre-processor. Now we are moving towards solution. Okay. So in very first video we have discussed different steps of the CAE analysis. Okay. So if you are new to channel, just go back and see our previous videos, and you will able to know what actual process we need to follow. Okay. So before solution, you need to save this. Just click on save. Here you can save as ROD2 and just click on save. Now go to analysis, OptiStruct. OptiStruct is a solver where we are going to solve. We are going to process the, here you need to select all analysis and just click on OptiStruct. So once you have clicked on this one, a new dialog box will open. That dialog box is of OptiStruct, that is solution phase. So this is phase of solution. Okay. So just see, solution is completed. Now only you need to click on these results. So just click on results and just go here. So this now from solution we are coming to the post processor. Okay. So this is hyperview window where you are going to see the result, plot the result, and then we are going to analyze the result. Okay. So already we have calculated analytically. Now we are going to compare the hypermesh results with analytical result. Okay. So just click on this contour. You need to click on this contour, and we need to check the displacement. Just click on this apply. So just see here the displacement is 1.05 e raised to minus 1. That means displacement is only 0.1. So just check with it. So displacement is 0.1 mm only. Okay. So this is verified with this one. Also you can change, you can check the axial stresses. Click on apply. Now around 2.778 e raised to 0 means only 2.77 stresses are generated here, and you can cross check with this. Yes. So here by analytical also we have received 2.77 stresses. So what we have done, we have calculated analytical and we have solved that problem with hypermesh also, and we have just cross checked the results. Okay. So these results are same. So we can say our analysis is correct. So if you like this video, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe our channel for more videos like this. Thank you. We will meet in next video. Thank you.